You were lied to, not by a scammer, not by some shady salesman, but by the people who were supposed to prepare you for the real world. Your school. For 12 years, they taught you history, algebra, the parts of a cell, but they never taught you the one thing that decides whether you spend your life rich or broke, how money actually works. And that single gap is the reason millions of smart, hard-working people stay stuck their entire lives. Here is what that gap looks like. You get a job. You work hard. You get a raise. And for a moment, it feels like you're winning. So you upgrade. A nicer car, a bigger apartment, a better phone. Your income went up, but somehow, at the end of the month, there's still nothing left. Then you get another raise. And the same thing happens again. More money in, more money out. You're running faster and standing in exactly the same place. Think of someone you know who earns good money, a real salary. And yet, if their paycheck stopped for 2 months, they'd be in serious trouble. That's not bad luck. That's a system working exactly the way it was designed to. This is what Robert Kiyosaki calls the rat race. And the cruel part is, the harder you work, the deeper into it you usually go. You tell yourself the next raise will fix it, the next bonus, the next promotion. But it never does, because the problem was never the size of the paycheck. If this feels familiar, you're not lazy, and you're not bad with money. You were just never taught the rules of the game you're forced to play. So let me give you the rule that changes everything. Rich people don't work for money. They make money work for them. I know how that sounds, but this is the line that separates the wealthy from everyone else, and it comes down to one distinction so simple a child can understand it. Yet most adults get it completely wrong. The distinction is this: assets versus liabilities. An asset puts money in your pocket. A liability takes money out of your pocket. That's it. That's the whole secret. The rich spend their lives buying assets. The poor and the middle class spend their lives buying liabilities while believing they're buying assets. Picture two columns on a page. One column is full of things that pay you. The other is full of things you pay for. Every dollar you earn walks into one of those two columns, and where you send it decides everything. And nowhere is that confusion more expensive than with the one purchase everyone calls the smartest of their life: your house. You've been told your home is your biggest asset, but ask yourself the only question that matters. Does it put money in your pocket or take money out? Every month, it pulls money out. Mortgage, property tax, insurance, repairs, maintenance. Money flows out, not in. By the real definition, for most people, a home you live in is a liability. It might grow in value one day, but until then, it's quietly draining you every single month, while you proudly call it wealth. This isn't an argument about renting versus buying. It's about being honest about which direction your money is actually flowing. Because once you mislabel a liability as an asset, you will never understand why you're not getting ahead. You'll just keep feeding it and wondering where the money went. Now you can see why earning more rarely fixes anything. When the average person gets more money, they buy more liabilities. A bigger house with a bigger mortgage. A new car with a new payment. Each one creates another monthly expense that has to be fed. Forever. So their expenses rise to swallow every raise they'll ever get. More income simply means more bills. It's why you hear about people who earned millions and still went broke. Athletes, lottery winners, stars. The money came in like a flood, poured straight into the liability column, and a few years later, it was gone. A high income with no assets isn't wealth. It's just a faster treadmill. The rich do the opposite. When they get more money, they buy assets first. Things that pay them. And those assets generate income that buys the luxuries later. So the luxury never costs them their freedom. Same raise, opposite outcome. One person buys a payment, the other buys a money machine. So why doesn't anyone teach this? Think about what school actually optimizes you for. Show up on time. Follow instructions. Don't question the system. Get good grades so you can get a good job. That's the perfect training for an employee. It is terrible training for building wealth. Kiyosaki's point is brutal but fair. The school system was built to produce reliable workers, not financially free people. So the most important subject of your entire adult life, money, was the one subject nobody ever covered. That's not your fault. But from this moment on, closing that gap is your responsibility. And the good news is, financial education isn't complicated. It was just hidden from you. If this is already shifting how you see things, do me a quick favor and subscribe. Because this channel exists to teach you the money lessons school skipped. There's one more force keeping people trapped, and it lives in your head. Fear and greed. Fear of not having money keeps you clinging to a paycheck, too scared to learn, invest, or take a smart risk. So you stay an employee, telling yourself it's safe. Then the moment money comes in, greed whispers, spend it, enjoy it. You earned it. So you buy the liability, the expense locks in, and the fear of losing your paycheck gets even stronger. Fear pushes you in. Greed keeps you there. Most people spend 40 years sprinting on that wheel and call it a career. And the wild part is, they're not stupid. They're just running on emotions nobody ever taught them to control. You break the cycle the moment you stop letting those two feelings make your money decisions for you. So what do you actually do? 3 concrete moves. 1. Learn to tell an asset from a liability for real. Before any big purchase, ask one question. Will this put money in my pocket or take it out? That single question, asked honestly, will reroute your whole financial life. Most people never ask it even once. 2. Pay yourself first. The moment money comes in, before bills, before fun, move a slice into your asset column. Investments, an index fund, a skill that earns, a small business. Most people pay everyone else first and themselves last, and then wonder why there's never anything left to invest. Flip the order. Pay your future self before the world gets its hands on your paycheck. 3. Work to learn, not just to earn. Early on, chase skills over salary, sales, investing, how money and systems actually work. A higher paycheck makes you comfortable. The right skills make you free. Those are not the same thing, and confusing them costs people decades. None of this requires a huge income. It requires you to stop buying liabilities you thought were assets and start, slowly, building a column that pays you instead. One asset feels like nothing, but assets stack, and income from assets buys more assets. And that's the snowball almost nobody starts, because they were too busy feeding the liability column. So here's the truth nobody put on a chalkboard. It was never really about how much you earn. Plenty of high earners are one missed paycheck away from zero. It's about what you do with what comes in, and whether you spend your life buying things that drain you or things that feed you. The rat race isn't a wage, it's a pattern. And the day you can look at any purchase and instantly see asset or liability is the day you quietly step off the wheel that's been running everyone around you. You weren't bad with money. You were just never taught the rules. Now you know them. If this opened your eyes, subscribe, because every video here hands you one more lesson school left out, so your money finally starts working for you. I'll see you in the next one.